Hi, everyone. Welcome to It's a Vibe, Inspired Women Inspire Women. And I'm so excited to be here talking with Natalie Colalillo. And I had to practice that last name, and I probably still screwed it up. But Natalie is actually she's the founder and CEO of Happy Healthy Women. She's passionate about empowering women globally to rise up to their greatest happiness, health, and success. She's a life and business mentor, public speaker, and considered a multi-preneur with a variety of projects on the go, supporting her mission. Natalie believes that happiness, health, and success are one full circle and that women can have it all. And I couldn't agree more. So to give you a bit of a background, I am a trailblazer for happy, healthy women. Can't say that fast. In Oakville. And it's something I started in April, I believe, of 2018. And it's probably one of the best things I've ever done. And not necessarily just for my business, but just the amazing women that I've met, how much it has enriched my soul. And I highly recommend this for any woman that's looking to kind of just be around a group of women who share similar visions and people that you want to create, grab onto their good energy. And I think that is something that has been crucial to me, especially moving to a new city. So welcome, Natalie.
Thank you.
So first question for you, what inspired you to start Happy Healthy Women?
Oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I want to just say thank you for having me on this. You're amazing. You're such a huge part of Happy Healthy Women. Everything you do is so incredibly inspiring. And, you spoke at our recent summit and I was floored by how incredible you were. So I'm so grateful for you. So I just want to first thank you for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Awesome. And yeah, so in terms of what inspired me, it was really, when I started Happy Healthy Women, I was coming from a place of being really burnt out in a previous business. And what I found that I needed for the first time, and I stress for the first time because previous to this, it was usually men that I related to most. It was never like groups of women that I found I could be my truth in, And so what I found was that I needed a group of supportive women around me who understood the issues that I had with my burnout, and what happened was, to make a long story really short, I went through a time where I focused only on my business. I focused only on the dollars and cents of my business. I was not in tune with my passion. I was not in tune with my health. I was not in tune with relationships in my life. All I cared about was I need to make a bigger profit in this business. And so I burnt out as a result. And so for the first time in my life, I really wanted to be surrounded by women, other female entrepreneurs who understood that. And the other thing is that I wanted to network, but I didn't want to network in the way that I was networking. I was finding that women, or that the networking events that I was going to were meat markety, I like to say. I don't even know if that's a word, but
I get it.
Just felt really felt like a speed dating event, just felt not authentic to me. And I thought, how would I network in the most beautiful way if it was up to me? And it is up to me. So how can I do this? So I created Happy Healthy Women, exactly who I wanted to meet. And here we are. So that was sort of the inspiration behind it.
That's amazing. And I feel you, because I feel exactly the same way. And I can guarantee so many other women do. And it's hard to find those relationships, especially as an entrepreneur, if you're surrounded by people that don't get why you're doing it or get why it's so important to you. And being around that same energy helps you step back a little bit and take care of you, but also create relationships along the way. And that's important. So yeah. What is your vision for Happy Healthy Women moving forward, and why? I really want to hear this because I think you've done such a great job because you're Canada wide and I think it's amazing.
Thank you. Thank you. So, okay, I'll start with the grand vision. The
Okay.
grand vision is to be global. And what I mean by global is um, this is a movement. This is not just a networking group, right? Like there's so much more to Happy Healthy Women. Like our programs are designed to have women step into their leadership, to grow as individuals, to grow their businesses, to help the world, to serve the world, to take what they know and empower other women. And so when I see what's happening, like literally, I know I have goosebumps too, because this is like it's huge, it's not a small thing that I can keep secret in my four walls. Like I need to help other women pay this forward. And so the vision is global. We are starting that global movement this year by going to Peru in November with You Go Travel for Change. Yeah. So obviously it looks different in third world country, a developing country, than it does in Canada or the United States. But we are like the premise remains that we are women helping and empowering and inspiring other women. So that's the global vision. That's the grand vision. The immediate vision, and I always like have this sort of like in my mind, like the closer goals is to have a greater amount of branches across Canada, a greater amount of women across Canada who are taking part, and also in the United States. So we're in talks of creating branches there as well very soon.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I think like you've done such a good job in such a short time that I can really see it growing massively. And I think your scope when it comes to not just being about a bunch of women getting together and creating relationships here, but also just helping women who unfortunately don't have the tools to help themselves. And
Right.
I think it's really important that if we can, that we should be doing it. And I think going to Peru is amazing. And I think more movements should focus a little bit more, like expand their scope that way. So it's amazing.
Thank you.
So as a multi-preneur, how do you manage your time? Like sometimes I think about all the stuff you do and I'm just like, wow.
I don't really know. I don't know how. Like honestly, this is like the hardest question to answer because I know it would be so helpful to provide tactical things for people to do, but really, like I have a list that is never ending, that is constantly like, I actually, this is a really good tool for those who are watching. I'm going to plug this for a second, and I'm not getting paid to do this, but it's called it's called the Planner Pad. And the Planner Pad actually has a space where you can make lists. So like if you're a multi-preneur like I am, you can make different like lists. It has spaces to do that. And then it has a space to bring those lists down and identify your top priorities.
Oh my God, like, that's amazing.
Right. And then you plug them into time. So,
wow.
So
I've been looking for something like that too. So I'm glad you brought that up. I just wrote that down.
yeah. Like it's amazing. And they only sell them in one spot on the web. And you're paying a little bit of a premium for it, but it's so worth it. So that is a big tool for me. And I've used it for the past 4 years. But really like it's about having a balance between seeing things as separate and seeing things as one. So seeing things as one, by that I mean like everything is of importance. I have a few businesses on the go and they're all important. They're all of equal importance. So it's not a great thing when one of them falls away and others are of focus. But then at the same time, seeing them as like a separate thing so that you can really put your focus in. So when you're deciding to focus on this, you're really focusing on this. So does that make sense? Like, does that help in like, it's more of a mental game, I think, in terms of really tackling it all.
And you do everything on your own, or do you have people that kind of help you out?
No, so I have people, for sure. I couldn't do it all by myself, and I delegate the stuff that that is not my strength, right? And I'm sure you've heard this before from other entrepreneurs, like stop doing the stuff you hate doing and let people that excel at that and that love doing that do that, because they bring their strengths to things, and it makes it 10 times better. You learn so much. Like I learned so much from the people that I work with that I'm like, you're amazing. Go for it. Right. Like, so yeah.
And that's something that I'm trying to do myself is I know what I'm good at, but there's also things that I like to do that I'm not necessarily good at, but I spend too much time on it, right? So I have to really break that down, and that's my goal for 2019 and moving forward. So that's a great tip because makes so much sense, right? Use your strengths and delegate out for sure.
Yeah, totally.
So how do you fit? Because I know like you're a vegan, you're very big on health, hence the healthy women. And I know that's something that's important to you. So how do you fit healthy habits into everything that you're doing? You're so busy. And one of the common excuses for women is I'm too busy.
Yeah.
So how do you fit it all in, the healthy habits?
Honestly, Carmen, like this is so why we focus on happiness and health and success for women entrepreneurs, right? It's so why you personally are such a big part of this, because you focus on health and you help the rest of us do that too. So, you know, when I was in a big burnout mode, like it's no wonder I got there. Do you know what I mean? Like I would come home, I had a brick and mortar store. I would close up that shop. I would come home. I would either stop on the way home to get something to eat because I was so exhausted, or I would I would stop to get something gross to eat. And the other thing was I quite often poured myself a drink the minute I walked in the door. Now I'm not saying that I I don't know, it wasn't a drinking problem in that way, but it was an issue because I needed it to take the edge off when I got inside, you know.
That's what I mean. It's more the why you did it, not that you're doing it.
Right. So when I realized these things, so after I burnt out and I spent like how much time in bed because of depression and like, how did this happen to me? I started to really focus on like what I was eating, what my habits were, how often I was moving with joy in my life. Right. And so how do I fit it in? I mean, I just started with like one small habit. Right. And that one small habit for me was like prepping my meals and deciding that on the weekends or whenever I cook, I'm not going to cook just for that minute. I'm going to cook for tomorrow and the day after that, so that I feel prepared, so that I always know that there's food at home in my fridge that's healthy. So that's one thing. And then, another thing is just being like answering to myself when I, if I feel like I want to go for a run, I'll go for a run. If I feel like I want to do yoga, I'll do yoga. But if I don't feel like running and I go running, I'm only like putting myself in a place of, I don't want to be doing this right now. And that energy is bad, right? For me. So I do the things that I want to do. I know that I want to move. I know that moving feels really good. So I know that I want to do that. And so I equate everything. I equate my health with joy. And I think that's the biggest piece of this is when you equate your health with joy, you don't have a problem fitting it in. You want to do those things, right? So only do the things you love. And that doesn't mean go eat donuts, because when you think about that, you don't really love eating. Like you may love one donut, but you don't love eating like 6 donuts and then the feeling of that after, right? So listen to your body, listen to what it wants.
And that's great, because that's exactly what I talk about to my clients.
Yeah.
And is there an echo? I think I just heard myself twice. So, and when I was at the Pure Inspirational Summit, that I talked about the Inspired Method, which is my one-on-one program, because you're right. If you want to sustain any habits, you have to do it within pleasure, because pleasure drives habit loops. So you have to listen to that. And I now can see why you're able to continue to have these healthy habits because you are coming from a place of joy and pleasure. And that is so crucial in the message that I send out constantly. So it's good to hear that you're doing that.
Thank you.
So what is the next big event for Happy Healthy Women? I'm excited to hear about this because you just had the Pure Inspirational Fall Summit in October.
Yeah. So every year we do 3 bigger events. We have our Spring Summit, which is going to be in April this year. And then we have our Fall Summit, which is normally in October. And then we have our Holiday Bash, which is, you know, a really fun event to come together. And you were there, you know, to like just enjoy ourselves and celebrate our year. So those are the 3 big events. But the upcoming Spring Summit is, we're figuring out the theme and all of that. Every time we have one, it's called Pure Something. So we've got a great theme that we attach to it, and it's going to be amazing. Inspirational speakers and vendors and wellness treatments. So we're really looking forward to it.
Yes, they're great events. They're so inspirational. I know the first one I went to was in the spring of 2018, and so glad I went because just the stories that women tell are incredible. And then at the Fall Summit, I had the pleasure, and I'm so grateful for it, by the way, for speaking at the Fall Summit. And just even like your mom is like the cutest little thing ever. She spoke, and I had to go up and give her a hug because I just thought her story was amazing too. So now if people wanted to find out more about the summit in the spring, can they just go to happyhealthywomen.com for that?
Yes, the info isn't up yet, but the best thing to do is to join our newsletter, and then they'll get info the minute we launch it.
Perfect. That makes sense.
Yeah, and they can join our newsletter right on our website.
Okay, awesome. Now, what is the one tip you can give busy women to maintain an abundance mindset? And I use the word abundance because that is a word that you use a lot. And I think people, because I like the word abundance too. And it's funny how I used it one time and somebody said to me, oh, I you know, that word's too much about money. And I kind of tilted my head and I was like, no, it's not though. I think you're thinking kind of like how the old Natalie thought about just business and money, right? That's abundance, but abundance comes in so many forms. So what is the one tip you can give busy women to help them maintain an abundance mindset?
Yeah. So I would say make the decision to live your life in gratitude. Make the decision to be grateful for every single piece of abundance you see in your life. You know, like I've got 75,000 pens on my desk, right? And so I'm grateful for all 75,000. A silly example, but abundance, like you said, Carmen, shows up everywhere, right? And so when you open your fridge, you know, be grateful for the abundance of food in there. Just make it, but like you don't have to like shout it out in the rooftops, but like feel that gratitude. Like, wow, you know, another tip is, you know, it is financial, is like when we get bills in the mail, you know, I always say, like, look at that bill. And instead of feeling that like, oh God, like, why do I have to keep getting these bills? Look, they're never going to go away, right? As long as you have the life that you are living, you're not going to not have bills. So instead, be grateful for those bills and be grateful for the fact that you have the means to pay it and say it. And so you might, you know, some people might be thinking, well, what if I get a bill and I don't have the money in my account to pay that bill? Well, be grateful anyway for the means to pay it. Because when you send that message out, and this is where I'm going to get woo-woo, and I don't care because that's who I am. When you send that message out to the universe responds with, yes, you do have the means to pay this bill. Here you go. Here's a new client, or here's a rose mail, or whatever the case. So we need to really just like live in gratitude and live in that place of like, thank you for everything, and stop looking, because we have two paths in our brain. We can go positive or we can go negative, and whichever way we go, we're going to get more of. So, you know, like just stay in the positive, stay in the gratitude. And even if it's like 5 cents, or someone hands you a piece of gum, stay in the gratitude and you will create more.
No, I agree 100%. And that's why, I had to switch my mindset. And the build tip is such a great one because, it's so easy to get into that negative mindset. And that's something, again, with my clients, I have to get them reframing their thoughts around a lot of things in order for them to move forward, or you can really stay stuck if you're not in a place of gratitude. So now, is there anything else that you want to share with people on maybe any personal stuff you are doing in the future, like just to help yourself, or any adventures you're going on, or anything before we sign off?
So I think that, the lesson from I'm doing a lot of reflection right now, and well, I was, and now sort of moving forward with everything that I learned in 2018. And we actually, yesterday at our Authentically Connecting, we're talking about this, about moving forward in your life, and how you move forward, right? And where you're making decisions from. So again, it goes back to like that positive and negative road, right? But in terms of things in your life that, maybe there's contracts that you have to sign. Maybe there's decisions that you want to make this year, but there's fear there, right? So one of the biggest lessons that I learned in 2018 that I am taking with me in 2019 is making decisions from a place of wisdom. And wisdom is my word for 2019. Wisdom completely kicks fear in the butt. And I'm so, like, the minute that I adopted that in my mind and in my heart was the minute that I felt completely different about this year and what I'm manifesting and what I'm creating. So that's a huge thing. And I help other women, look at that and break down those blocks and find out where they are struggling and move past that. So I do offer mentoring. If, anyone feels the need to, even just a session or 3 sessions to sort of break away from their what's going on in here and break down some blocks and move forward into abundance and into success and lots of money and lots of health and lots of excitement in their lives, then I do offer that. So that's just one thing that I wanted to share.
Amazing. And how can they get a hold of you?
So they can go onto the website and just go to contact us, and we'll get an email, and we will set up a time to chat.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for sharing your time. I'm so glad that we did this because there's so many great points on here for women. And I know that everyone watching this and that will watch this in the future, women, you really need to see if there's a collective in your city. If there's not, then reach out to Natalie and start one yourself.
Yes. Head to happyhealthywomen.ca. Yes.
Yes, for sure. Anyway, Natalie, thank you again. And I hope you have an amazing weekend. I hope you enjoy the sunshine of today because it's beautiful out. And hopefully we can do this again sometime soon.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you for everything you do for Happy Healthy Women and beyond. I love you with all my heart. You're the best.
I love you too, doll.
Thanks for having me. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.